Hello Cancer, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energies for the sign of Cancer for the next 3 months. So this will cover the periods of July, August, and September. If you're more of a business person, this would be for Q3 or quarter 3 of 2022. With that said, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate. Drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and see what we have here for you. Now, I am using the Gilded Tarot, the classic Rider-Waite Tarot, and a new deck. It's called the Higher Self Affirmation cards or Higher Self Affirmation deck. There's a link to all of these decks in the description below if you'd like to pick them up for yourself. Also ask that you hit the like button and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow in a big way, especially if you watch my content regularly. If you've not yet hit the subscribe button, please do that. Please do consider doing that. It really helps me out. So, all right, let's see what we have here. Cool. That looks just about good enough to me. All right, Cancer, energy on the bottom. You have the Ten of Pentacles. So Ten of Pentacles is definitely a very nice card to find in a tarot reading. You know, I'm really being drawn here to this turtle on the card here. Okay, this turtle. You know, slow and steady wins the race. But not only that, I'm getting this idea of like ancient or like ancient wisdom or like being wise. You know, those people. You can always spot somebody in a crowd who is wise. And I'm getting this sense of you being wise with the way that you approach your abundance, the way that you approach your financial situation over the next 3 months. And I feel like some of you are maybe even taking a new approach in that I feel like maybe in the past you've tried, I'm getting this weird message of like you maybe not having a long-term outlook on something, and I feel like any move that you make from here on out, you are playing the long game. That's what I'm getting from this Ten of Pentacles energy here, and makes sense. I didn't even see the Seven of Pentacles, but we're going to talk about why that's interesting that I was getting that message here, even more so with that energy. Let's just make sure we're all set up. As you know, I like to make sure that the cards are in view. All right, cool. So we have this Ten of Pentacles on the bottom, and in your overall situation, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is really a card that indicates long-term investments paying off, or just long-term planning for the future, really thinking about what is next for you. Okay, you can see that this person is absolutely contemplating what is next, right? On one hand, they have this basket, and they've also already propped up the ladder, and they are ready to think about whether or not they should take the harvest, or they are kind of ready to think about, like, do I take the harvest now or do I move in a new direction, right? And they are kind of thinking about what is next. Where do I go from here? Do I allow this tree to continue growing and to continue allowing me to sort of, bearing fruit for me, or do I go and do something else? And it's almost like, you know, one of the key terms when you look at the Seven of Pentacles is this idea of a directional change. That could be something, by the way, like welcoming a new member into your family, right? That is like certainly a change in direction. That is certainly a new path for you. And, just using that example, what goes along with that is like trying to plan for a new human's future, right? That you're welcoming into your family. And so it's sort of like, whether it's, welcoming someone into your family, or quite literally changing if you already have children or you're not interested in children, it's quite literally planning for something else or planning for something new. And like I said, this is something where you're playing the long game here very clearly with the Seven of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. I do have to say it's a very nice sign to start a reading out with those two cards. So let's continue getting some more messages here. So in the past, not in the past, we're doing this Q3. So in July, you have, or the first part of Q3, you have the Queen of Wands, you have the Ten of Wands, and you have the Lovers. So Wands is the suit of work, career, enterprise. You're noticing here in July, for some of you, your work situation is becoming a burden. Okay, your work situation is becoming a burden here. Reason being is you have this Ten of Wands. This person's kind of shouldering the load of responsibility, or shouldering the shouldering kind of responsibility here, and they have the weight of the world on their back, put another way. So when you have this Ten of Wands, it can feel like you are sort of struggling uphill, or you're sort of moving uphill, and it can come forward when there's maybe like some sort of burnout or overwork in your career life, because again, Wands is about work, career, enterprise. It's also about inspiration and passion, okay? And so you have this idea of inspiration and passion with the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is somebody who is quite literally capable of having whatever they want in their life, but it's a double-edged sword. They can attract negative situations into their life as well if they are not being authentic. And so this is about attracting, whether you're attracting something you want or you're attracting something that you ultimately do not want. It's up to you how you attract. And for this person, the best way to attract is by being authentic, right? Being unequivocally Cancer, being unequivocally the Queen of Wands here, embracing this energy of authenticity to bring something in. Because you can bring whatever you want. But again, there's a double-edged sword there. What do you actually want? Long-term planning and preparation for the future here is what I feel like some of you are maybe laying the groundwork for in July. You do have this Lovers card. There is a choice that some of you are absolutely certainly making here. The Lovers card represents an important choice to make in love, in life, in career, in something in your life. It's also Gemini energy. And so, of course, we're out of this Gemini season, and we're actually, as I record this, we're in your season, and July is your season, and we're looking in your season here. But it's almost like maybe in June, there was an understanding or a realization in June that's now carrying over here in July about work, about what you want to be doing, about where you want to be going. So in the middle of the quarter here, in August, we have Five of Swords, we have the Seven of Pentacles, and we have the Five of Cups. We have the double fives. 555 for me is an energy of change. Now, change does not have to be bad. Change can be scary, and that's why sometimes when you see 555, it can be a little bit jarring, but it just means that there's potentially a change coming, and this is making sense, right? This is absolutely making sense here. With the Five of Cups, Five of Swords, and I think some of you are building on this realization of the past, which in this case would be July, June, and kind of building for the future here with the Seven of Pentacles showing up in the middle, the Ten of Pentacles on the bottom. Again, you have this Five of Cups, which is somebody who's sitting in disappointment. Okay, some of you, there's something here brewing in your subconscious, which take note of your dreams, take note of what's coming through in the dream world. If you're somebody who remembers your dreams, certainly build a dream log, write out, you can record it digitally. I actually do that myself. You can download a journaling app or whatever it is if you don't want to physically handwrite. Or you could just obviously go analog and put, a notebook next to your bedstand and journal when you wake up in the morning. But I think that I'm getting a pretty strong message here of you journaling as it relates to your work situation. I think journaling your dreams, journaling in general here is going to be very important for you, because we have this Five of Cups, which is maybe some sort of disappointment in the career life here showing up. You also have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is some sort of loss or defeat, maybe even a challenge being sort of presented to you in this case. I think some of you are aware of this. I think some of you see the writing on the wall, as we've been talking about writing here, and that would not be surprising to me at all. In September, you have the Ace of Cups, you have the Wheel of Fortune, and you have the Eight of Wands. I do have to say, I am getting a nice feeling here as I look towards the future for you. And I mean, obviously there's a little bit of the roadblock of burden here, but burdens are a part of life, right? And roadblocks are a part of life. And for you just happen to have, I feel like, a lot on your plate at this time. And I think as I look towards the future for you, I feel very good about a situation here. You have an amazing 3-card lineup here in the future. The Ace of Cups is a new beginning. And remember I said, for you with this 10 of Pentacles on the bottom, I feel like you're becoming wise, or you're probably already wise since I was looking at this turtle energy, but it's like some of you are really making wise decisions in money at this time, I feel like. And when I say money, I'm also kind of talking about career as well. Although the two things are different, they do go hand in hand. But I do feel like some of you are just making wise choices here. Like, if it's not something that you feel like you can see yourself doing for a long time, you're probably not going to be doing it. That's just my kind of feeling. You do have this Wheel of Fortune as well, which is a change in your destiny. Remember, I said, by the way, I think some of you are maybe welcoming a child into the family here. If that's not on your plate or on your table, then that's just not, I would just drop that message. And for you, it's probably more about something in your career, but I think there is a segment of you that are watching that are maybe doing some child planning here, because the Ace of Cups can represent like sort of fertility and a new beginning in love, but it can also just be, because combined with the 7 of Pentacles can talk about family planning and planning for a child, obviously. And so I do feel like maybe some of you are maybe looking at that in the future here. But I also think some of you are really changing your mindset and maybe even changing your career. And this feels like a bigger part of your destiny here with the 10 of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, 7 of Pentacles. And I think that the big change for you is recognizing how burdened you've been recently. You have this 8 of Wands, which I love to see. The 8 of Wands is motion, movement forward, moving ahead, moving along, getting excited, getting ready, and kind of, it can also represent good news coming in here. So let's go ahead and let's take 3 of these higher self cards. Really like these cards. So they're big, but you have, so we are all echoes of the same song. Oneness, I experience myself in connection with all life. You have radical permission to feel however you feel in this moment. And then there are a bunch of different feelings, emotions here you can look at. Acceptance is the first step in transcendence. Acceptance, I give myself permission to feel the way I feel. And then you have energy doesn't lie. Energy, I trust the way my body feels. Here's the thing. Have you ever been in a work situation where your burden of responsibility at work is bleeding into your physical health? If you don't feel healthy where you are, I feel like some of you are moving on. I also this is kind of bringing up this other memory, which is I remember when I left my job, there was this period of acceptance where I was like, well, I know it's time for me to go. I know it's time for me to move on. And I almost get the sense that there's this acceptance that some of you are having around that, and I think around changing something. Let's go ahead and get some tarot cards here. So you have the Knight of Cups, you have the High Priestess, you have the Queen of Swords, you have the 4 of Wands, you have the Page of Cups, and you have the 2 of Wands. Okay, so Knight of Cups, 4 of Wands here to clarify the past. We've talked about how, like, I feel like for some of you, there's this rekindling energy. Some of you are trying to rekindle your excitement for work, your excitement for your career, your inspiration in some area of your life, or kind of trying to get inspired again. Something along those lines is coming in for me, for you, at this time with the Knight of Cups. Now, it is interesting. We are getting a sort of love narrative here showing up with the Knight of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Lovers, and the Ace of Cups. That certainly, especially with the Queen of Wands, which the Queen of Wands is somebody who's extremely attractive to others, whether that's in love or in career. And, it is certainly on the table if you are looking for new love. Now that this is why we clarify, right? This is why we clarify. But I feel like you need to trust how you feel with a new person that comes in, I would not, like, obviously, I would be careful of moving into some type of energy of desperation. Like needy energy is very clear. When you can, once you start to sort of like notice it, you can really notice, or once you sort of start to tune in, you can really notice needy energy. And I feel like some of you are not doing that anymore as it relates to new love. But I think on the love front, others of you are also just like really starting a family. Like I'm kind of getting these two stories here where there certainly could be new love, but this could also just be this idea of you welcoming someone new into the family, because you have this Four of Wands, which is long-term situation with marriage, Seven of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, fertility, as well as the Page of Cups, good news. And so that could certainly be new child on the way, anything like that here. You have this High Priestess, trust what you know. There was this, I trust the way my body feels with this energy card. I think that that's certainly important at this time, but that goes beyond love, right? That goes beyond love. That goes into work as well. You know, again, going back to my personal just experience here with like working in an office setting, going really hard in work, and like leaving my job, there was a certain point where I was like, ugh, I just don't feel good. Like this job's like taking up, like it's like physically kind of draining me. And I feel like maybe some of you should really trust. The High Priestess asks you, especially in a health context, to not ignore warning signs. And because the High Priestess is all about trusting your intuition. You have this Queen of Swords cutting through the noise, cutting through the drama. And it's really a card of independence, which is why there is this third segment. Remember, there are a couple segments here in this reading, which timelines groups of people that are watching this. Some of you are just like, nope, don't care about love, not interested in children at this time, or I already have children, or whatever. You're looking to really be like independent with your career, with your money situation. And some of you are like planning, okay? Like in my mind, I sort of see like a scroll, and you like sort of writing out like a game plan or an itinerary or an outline on this scroll of paper. And you have this Two of Wands with it, which is like planning as well. And you have like two messages here of planning with the Seven of Pentacles in the middle and the Two of Wands. This person's planning on what path to choose. And so there's like a lot of excitement showing up here for you in the future, Cancer. And yeah, I really like this. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you. And I will see you in the next reading.